Oh my gosh, guys. I just had the strangest thing happen. I was so confused. Like, maybe, okay, I don't recall this ever being a solution during the training, so I was kind of freaking out. So I enter my classroom like 5 minutes before, maybe, yeah, about 4 minutes before class, like I always do, just to get the kids warmed up. And then like, I saw that the kids were online because it didn't say offline, but there were no pictures, there was no sound. And I was like, okay. And I knew my stuff was right because I already taught two classes, but I also looked at the audio and the video stuff before, and my voice was there in the classroom. So I was like, there's nothing wrong on my end. I was like, could it be possible that all these kids are having trouble at the same time? So I kept sending little notifications like no sound, no video, no sound, no video. And then I was like, am I in the classroom by myself? So I guess there was silence for 4 minutes because I was just texting to the team and they weren't saying anything, and I was just like feeling awkward. I was like, am I supposed to be saying something? So I didn't say anything at first, but that probably should have, because anyway, let me finish my story. So then I just am like, okay, and I'm texting them, but they're kind of slow to respond if it's early. I think maybe around 9 or something. Anyway, so I was like, typing. So I was just going with the class, but I've just had like a medium energy. Like, I didn't bring the same thing that I would usually because I felt like I might be dumb. Like, maybe I'm talking to myself. Maybe there is like, it's obvious that no one's online, it's a no-show, or the class got canceled and I'm just sitting here talking to myself. But I just was like, but they're online. So usually I was thinking, if by the time I got to the second screen, like I would see if they were active, but it was like a review thing. So it was like a whole bunch of stuff where it was just like they would be responding. So I didn't hear anything, but I just went through all the flashcards and was like, great job, Coco. And then I'll give them like the diamonds, but I didn't hear or see anything at all. So it was literally about halfway through the class. It was like 15 minutes in. I'm still talking to myself, but by like the fifth slide, we do an activity and I see that they're responding. And I'm like, so they're here. So that means the whole class, the whole intro, I didn't say my name. I just was standing there like this. I was putting stickers and stuff around, but like I wasn't talking to them. And then I finally, somebody responded and they were like, just exit out of your classroom real quick and then come back in. Because I was texting them weird things like, I feel like I'm like, help me. I feel like I'm talking to, I have ghost children and stuff like that. And so I exited out, and I didn't know I could exit out. I thought maybe it would start the class over to the first slide, or I just didn't know that was an option. So when I went out and came back in, it took like maybe 5 seconds for it to for the kids to show up, but then all of them were there, and I was like, whoa. And I felt bad because they're like little kids, and I didn't have that same energy I usually would, but I felt so silly. I was like, what is going on here? So we finished the class on a high note because then I knew that they were there, and then I just brought the same energy I would in a normal class, and then they were still so happy and still good. But like, when a lot of those stuff like were just responses, so I didn't really hear what they're saying, so I would just pretend, like pause, like, he is an actor, great job, and I would just be typing and stuff, and I was just so confused. So I said all of that to say, if you know your equipment is fine or whatever, just exit out of the classroom. It will pick the slides right back up where they started. And if your computer's pretty fast, like there was no time for them to even realize I wasn't there. Maybe my picture went away shortly, but there was nothing that, like, it didn't really help skip a beat. So I was like, that's all I had to do for this past 15 minutes because I was going to like exit out, refresh my computer, restart my computer and everything. Like, oh, it was so weird. It was bizarre. So I just had to share that with you guys. So hopefully if that ever happens to you, you know that you can exit with confidence and just go right back into class. It'll pick up exactly where you left off. And there's no shame in that. And if you see your kids are online, they are there. So if it's just that picture at the bottom, like an empty profile picture, but it doesn't say offline, the students are there. So maybe you can talk to them and then just exit out and then come back. So just please learn from my tale. I don't know what my reviews are going to be. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. I'll just comment below, like, after, like, maybe they'll be like, teacher had low energy or didn't talk the first 5 minutes or something like that. Didn't introduce herself to the students. So we shall see. But yeah. I hope that was you can it's kind of a funny story, so hopefully you can avoid that embarrassment in the future just based off my story and it wasn't in vain. Anyway, guys, like always, just comment, like, subscribe. If you have any questions, just ask them below. Happy teaching.